It's getting close to Halloween, and to get into the spirit of it, I decided to do a top 10 list of the scariest and creepiest Pokemon themes. Before I get into the list, I have to say a couple things. First, Lavender Town is banned from being on the list. Lavender Town is incredibly overused, and I think other themes should get the spotlight. And secondly, this is my opinion, so sorry if your theme doesn't get into the list. If you want, you can post your list in the comment section. I want to see what your list is like. Oh yeah, sorry if the audio is bad in some parts. I recorded it in 2 different rooms, so for the first 4 parts or so, the audio might be a bit worse than the last 5. So sorry about that. And with that all said, let's enter the creepiness of Pokemon's scariest themes. First up on the list at number 10 is Lost Forest from Pokemon Black and White. It gives me the feeling of walking into the forest, wandering around for a little bit, and then realizing that you're lost. With nowhere to go, you try to remember where you went. You realize you're even more lost than when you started. And with night closing in, you have to hope you'll find your way back before sundown. Ninth on the list is Drought, especially the ORS version. The track makes it seem like it's a drastic change, like it's the end of the world. Groudon's been awakened and is heating up the Hoenn region. The music feels tense and gives me Doom vibes. It's like the gates of hell have opened up and its heat is looking out. Making its way onto the 8th spot is Po Town, from Pokemon Sun and Moon. It's half scary and creepy, and half sad and melancholy. This town, for whatever reason, went abandoned and was left to rot, only for people like Team Skull to take it over and make it their hideout. Further defacing the town. Seventh on the list is Lysander's Cafe, from Pokemon X and Y. From the get-go, you can tell something's up about this cafe. It's blood red, there's nobody around except for you and the employees. The tune is ominous and hollow. It's an uncomfortable tune for a nice cozy place like a cafe. And it turns out, there was a huge lab hidden behind a cabinet the whole time. At number 6 on the list is Frozen City, from Pokemon Black and White 2. It's like Drought, but much more ominous. The background in the song feels like ice is all around you, with nobody around and everything's hopelessly frozen over. The bell adds to the gloom, making it sound even more hopeless, as Getsis has successfully frozen over a Lucid City, making it seem as if his icy world can truly become a reality. At the middle point of the list, we have Ultra Ruin from Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. When first looking at the theme, it just seems like a broken random radio channel, fitting the theme of this array as Guzzlord eats everything. But by reversing it, You've realized that this is the alternate version of Holy City, which is dark to think about. Guzzlord, which has a bottomless stomach, has been destroying the city. It's just you and one NPC you find in the town, which adds to the creepiness. It's not clearly explained what happened to everyone, but whatever did happen is probably really dark. Fourth on the list is Strange House from Pokemon Black and White 2. Oh boy, is it dark. The track fits perfectly with the themes of sadness, abandonment, and horror. It feels as if nobody's been here for a long time. With the floorboards creaking, the strings in the background playing a tune full of disarray, the random sound effects, as if someone else is also inhabiting the house, and with the chimes coming in and fading out, creates a sense of what was a home full of life and happiness has been left behind. What's even darker is the events that transpired in the house. There was once a happy family that lived in the house. One day, the daughter of the family suddenly fell into a never-ending nightmare caused by a Pokemon named Darkrai. A Pokemon that can cause people to enter nightmares that never end. The father set out to find a Lunar Wing, a feather that comes from the opposite Pokemon to Darkrai, Cresselia, which is said to cure nightmares caused by Darkrai. While this was happening, the girl heard a voice that sounded like her father's, but was really Darkrai, telling her to give in to the nightmare. The girl, believing it was her father's voice, gave in. Because she did this, she sadly died. The father came back, but realized it was too late. Because she died, the Lunar Wing no longer worked on her, so they got together as a family and abandoned the house. And going into the house, you can find the girl, now a ghost with regret and unfinished business. She asks you to give the Lunar Wing back to Cresselia, saying she tried giving it back to Cresselia because it's no longer any use to her, but can't because she's a ghost. She tells you to give it to Cresselia on the Marvelous Bridge, which in Black and White, if you go there, you can catch a glimpse of the ghost girl, waiting to give the wing back to Cresselia. Now that you know the backstory, the music's been more creepy, right? At number 3 is A for Paradise Labs, from Pokemon Sun and Moon. The theme gives me the chills. It just feels so stark, cold, and lifeless. There's only one major thing I can compare it to, which is the lab, from the first Frozen Noodle game. Like the Umbrella Lab, it seems as if things are being experimented on, without any care to what they're doing to it. I never thought I had while listening to this, is how cold it made my body feel. It's probably the scent and the turbine sound. It feels like a highly air-conditioned lab, where no human emotions are expressed. A for Paradise's cold interior is revealed, showing how uncaring and creepy they really are. Like if you suddenly see me in the secret room with all those frozen Pokemon, it's creepy, man. Call of Origin from Diamond and Pearl has a weird feeling to it. For one, I've never played the Sinnoh games, only Soul Silver, so this is coming from what I think Call of Origin is about. In the opening and the track, the Azure Flute plays, possibly representing Arceus, the god of Pokemon, who created the Pokemon world, with its notes, at least in my head, echoing down a dark void, with seemingly no life, until bam, Arceus creates life, and it's confused and angry. With nothing in the world except the first Pokemon, the world is a dark, almost lifeless void, with only the cries of Dialga and Palkia filling the new world. At least that's what I got from it. And finally, at number 1, it goes to... N's Room, specifically the Black and White 2 version. It has a very creepy childlike vibe to it. N was lied to his whole entire life, and judging by all the toys and the literal full-length skateboard ramp, N was given anything he wanted. all to convince him he was the true king, the leader of Team Plasma, when in reality, he was just a puppet to his adoptive father. Gets this. Now that N has realized that Team Plasma was using him for his whole life, walking into his room 2 years later, he finds it in shambles, all dirty and torn. The broken music box is used to show a mood of childish innocence, but with the realization of how messed up N's childhood really was. N talks about how the room was his very world, and what Getzes gave to him, his name, teachings on how to become a king, and the room he gave him, which after saying that N shakes his head and walks out, being uncomfortable and bringing back bad memories about being in his childhood room. The whole room is sad, childlike, and eerie, all at the same time, which combine to make the creepiest theme in Pokemon. Thanks for listening to my list. I've been wanting to make a Halloween video for a while now, mainly since the start of my channel, so I hope you enjoyed my picks and I definitely want to hear yours. And have a happy Halloween!